An indie filmmaker reached out to me and asked me to review one of his films, and I said, sure, I'd love to, but I cover exploitation films, so it better have lots of blood or nudity, or better yet, bloody nudity. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Tomboys, aka Fox Force from 2009. This is a movie about 5 women involved in a grape soda revenge. Fox Force, there are 5 of them. That sounds kind of familiar.
Fox as in we're a bunch of foxy chicks. Force as in we're a force to be reckoned with. And 5 as in there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Your typical grape soda revenge story has a pretty fixed structure. We introduce the characters, we get the grape soda, there's a recovery and or planning phase, and then we get the violent revenge, and then we're out. I Spit on Your Grave, Thriller, A Cruel Picture, Ms. 45, we've seen this story many times. This one though is a little bit different. It starts in medias res with the Fox Force bringing a man to a barn. So yeah, that's a different take. It's kind of like if you made a heist movie and didn't show the heist. Okay, so let's check it out. Well, actually, story-wise, there's not much to check out. The ladies bring in a man who's in a hood and they string him up. They talk and they yell and they disagree a bit about what they're going to do. The ringleader, Kat, is all in on a slice and dice, and one of the gals, Imogen, has cold feet. Kat wins the argument and carves herself a little sausage link. The guy starts to bleed out and they remove his hood and, oh, it's not the right guy.
I mean, do you believe that? I'm shocked.
But no worries, dear viewers, this man, it turns out, is also a grape soda enthusiast. Man, what are the chances? Well, this puts a wrinkle in Kat's revenge plan, so she heads back to the party to get the intended target and instructs the girls that they need to take care of the body. For some reason, they think that taking care of the body requires them to cut it up into little pieces, and I honestly have no idea why they think they have to do that. Why wouldn't a shallow grave work just as well? But maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Kat returns with her intended target. I'm really not sure how she convinced him to put on a blindfold and follow her to a barn. I mean, if a woman asked me to put on a blindfold and follow her, I'd be like, bitch, are you for real? But that's just me. Okay, so the intended target is finally there. The previous guy is in pieces in a bathtub, and Imogen, she's not a ride or die kind of gal, and that's going to cause some problems, and that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. First highlight, and it's a small but important point, but the audio here for the dialogue is pretty good. A lot of indie films at this budget level skimp on a good microphone, and that's a terrible mistake, so it's good to see this film did not make that mistake. Secondly, the grape soda revenge tale is pretty well worn at this point, so I appreciate the filmmaker trying to do something fresh with the idea. That being said, I do not think this film was executed very well and does have some significant shortcomings. Okay, well, first off, because this is a very low-budget movie, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about things that cost money. Actors, locations, special effects, music, lights, these things can get very expensive, so I'm going to let all that stuff slide. For the most part. This film is really dark. It's so dark at times I can't tell what I'm supposed to be seeing.
Get it now?
No, I don't. And this could have been fixed for very little money. I mean, I'm in a very dark room right now, and there's only one light on me right here, and I spent about 20 euros on it, 30 if you include the price of the stand and the umbrella. For less than 100 euros, you could easily buy some really bright clamp lamps or work lights and then hang a white sheet in front of them and get a really cheap DIY softbox. Yeah, that works. Robert Rodriguez did the same thing for his film El Mariachi. Okay, 100 euros is 100 euros, but it's only 100 euros. We're talking about a movie here. Okay, but anyway, leave that money stuff aside. Let's talk about something that doesn't really cost any money, a script. Okay, first off, there are some silly lines in this movie.
But this isn't purple, it's blue. What the is the difference?
What? But I'm not going to talk about lines, I'm talking about a deeper issue. In the writing world, we have a kind of a mantra: show, don't tell. What this means is audiences are drawn into stories when they are shown emotions, actions, etc., rather than just being told them. Compare these two lines. "You disgust me," Angela said angrily. Number 2. Angela shook her head. "You disgust me." She spat on Jim's shoes and walked out, ignoring his pleas for help. I bet you think that second one is more engaging. Why? Because I didn't tell you Angela was angry, I showed you her anger. And this movie has that problem. There's a reason why grape soda revenge movies show the grape soda. It is horrifying, and it gets us on the side of the victim. We're horrified, and that horror gets us invested in the revenge. That's what makes these movies work. If the characters just tell us what happened, there's no horror, and therefore less investment. And this film goes one worse by having that first victim be the wrong guy. Now I'm even less sympathetic to their task than I was before. They're unreliable. Not a good way to get the audience invested. So how can an indie filmmaker fix this? Well, first, do more showing. Could have had flashbacks to the party and assault instead of having the character tell us the story. Film is a visual medium. Put some information on the screen. And if you don't want to do that because you want to stick to the heist movie without a heist idea, which is not a bad idea by any stretch, well, then you have to have the movie be memorable for some other reason. Reservoir Dogs is memorable because it's got great dialogue and great characters. That's really hard to do though, so maybe try something else. Personally, I would have gone harder. Make the Fox Force a vigilante group who is all in on violent justice. They've had enough of the epidemic of grape soda on their college campus. They've done their homework, they've got the right guys, and they're gonna spill blood. And maybe they don't want to get their clothes dirty, so they do all of this topless.